Hello everyone, I'm Nokwe from Birds of Play, and in this video we're going to be analyzing the Japanese trailer for Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin and comparing it to the English version. So at any given time when anyone says something or something is written in the trailer, we will be able to see that all at the same time in three different versions. The one at the top being the English version, and the two at the bottom being the Japanese subtitles and my translation of them. And I will be stopping the video from time to time to offer my thoughts on the differences. And right off the bat we can see some differences since only the English trailer talks about some sort of time loop. If you want to watch the trailer just with the added subtitles and without my commentary, which might be the most understandable thing to do in the world, then we also have a version without commentary that you could check out. But I will of course try to add something to the experience if you choose to stick around. So let's go! And again, the English version doesn't appear to be a direct translation of the Japanese text. The Japanese text mentioning some sort of madness that the English version doesn't. I really like this logo. Hey, get out of the way. Thanks. So Jack, in the Japanese version, appears to be a bit of a pervert, talking about his shaking crystal and whatnot. One thing I just wanted to mention here is the ball-like shape of Jack's crystal, since it doesn't really look like the classic Final Fantasy crystals we have come to expect. But in the original Final Fantasy, the crystals actually had this orb-like quality, and the original translation even referred to them as orbs. So this appears to be a nice callback to that little detail. I like it. So this is Lucan's prophecy from the original Final Fantasy, and the phrasing appears to be unchanged from that game, so it's a direct retelling of the prophecy. I might be looking too much into it, but there might be a subtle cultural difference between how Neon is presented in Japanese and English. You can't really tell from just this single line, but the English version might be a bit more tomboyish, since she cracks a joke instead of just telling it like it is. We'll see once the game drops, but this feels like a somewhat common adjustment for female characters between Japan and the West. This scene is definitely one of the highlights of the trailer for me, since I never really expected to see the pirate Bike in full 3D glory, and it also points to a much more detailed retelling of the original Final Fantasy than the original Stranger of Paradise teaser implied. I don't mind it not being a faithful retelling, but I love getting these little nods to the original. And here we start to see how there's a lot more chaos in the Japanese version of the trailer. It's almost a shame it's not also in the English version, since it has become such a widespread meme at this point. Stay tuned for more Japanese talk about chaos. Who is this? Am I forgetting someone from the original Final Fantasy? Or is this an original character? Either way, she's a bit frustrated. For some reason. Here's some more talk about chaos. In the English version, Tiamat is simply Tiamat, but in the Japanese version, Tiamat is the chaos of wind. As far as I can tell, Tiamat was also referred to as the chaos of wind in the original Japanese version of Final Fantasy, and upon finding this out, I kinda wish there were more references to chaos in the English version as well, because chaos kind of just shows up without much warning. In the Japanese version, I feel like it is hinted at Tiamat being somewhat aware of the time loop and the nature of the party's journey. I feel like in the Japanese version, the relationship between Jack and Chaos is presented as a bit more concrete. The English version of Jack feeling him and wanting to look for him sounds a bit speculative, but in the Japanese version, it feels more direct that the memory or the thoughts of Chaos being proof of his continued existence within the time loop. Here we have Princess Sarah playing the magic lute she gives the party with in the original game. What a great logo. No, get out of the way. You're blocking it again. Move, move. Garland. Jack Garland. So, this is a pretty big reveal for a trailer, but according to an interview in Famitsu, there were concerns that fans had already figured out that Jack would become Chaos, so they changed the marketing for the game to getting people to instead think about how it happens, not whether it happens. And that's it for the trailer. Thanks for watching. I gotta say that I'm a lot more hyped for this game this time around, since the world presented in the trailer appeared a lot more vibrant, and we had more callbacks to the original Final Fantasy. What do you think of Stranger of Paradise so far? Let us know down in the comments below, but until next time,